What's up, Big Daddy?
You?
How'd you know?
I got caller ID, man. I know what's going down. I can tell what
you got caller ID.
Is Troy calling me, man? I know who it is. I'm stoked because we finally get to talk about DynaVap just a little bit.
Yeah, DynaVap's the highlight sponsor tonight, right?
Yeah, man, I'm stoked to be able to call them a sponsor. Quite frankly, Troy, it's great. We're proud to have them as a sponsor. And again, another sponsor that doesn't have to sponsor. We talk about them and use their stuff anyhow. You guys know that. So, but the bottom line is, man, these guys are awesome. I mean, their products are great. The company's great. And every time somebody says, "Should I get a VAP cap?" and I go, "Everybody needs a VAP cap. Just get one, and then go from there." You're gonna love it.
My go-to DynaVap lately has been the Old Head trading company.
Yeah, pull that out.
I love having the VAP cap where the tip actually stays in my hand in the same position. Like I can torch it, I can induction heat it from the same place and just move the stem to my mouth. Like I really enjoy doing that with this.
You telling me you're holding it and hitting it so that you don't have to move one of your hands?
I just move my fingers. So I torch it and then bring the it tastes like combustion. I combusted it recently.
Fantastic. Dude, I had that problem too, man, with one. I always get aggressive with them, man.
What's your favorite VAP cap?
Well, it's funny. My favorite one wants to be this one that I built from the trip you and I made to Wisconsin. And it probably
give us a tour of it?
It might be my favorite one as far as just overall. It's my fave. I mean, the tip. Look at the cap on that. The cap has got some dope lining on it from that. Was it the flux thingamajig? What was the flux thing that we used? It was hilarious, that thing. And then all of this stuff here. But I don't get the performance out of this one that I prefer from some of the others. So, in fact, I was just ripping on this one, which is that new Simrel Stinger that we had a couple weeks ago. And man, this thing, it's got a titanium tip on it that, quite frankly, I need to tame, man. Like this thing was smoking. You know how everyone's got a little different personality. The tips, they're all a little bit different. And
yeah,
this one's fiery, man. This one's fiery.
You got a hot titanium tip. Is that what you're saying?
I got a hot tight tip right here, baby. I'm telling you what.
Nice. I always like the titanium tips over the stainless steel, and I remember you were the kind of the other way around, weren't you? You typically like the stainless steel.
I do, and that's probably why I have to tame this one. But I use stainless steel most of the time. I don't care if it's an 18, 19, 20. I like the 19 and 20 the best. I think they're pretty similar. I don't really care which one of those I pick up. But yeah, no, I like the stainless steel. I get a little more muscle, but a little less finesse. But I'm talking subtle, man. It's subtle. I know people can argue about them, and it's a subtle thing though. So yeah, so this one here, I usually use the Apollo. I've got the Apollo 2 induction heater on my desk at all times. I'll unplug it so you can see it. I've got one of these that plugs into the back here and has an on and off thing. And I got it too close to another one of my vapes recently, and I melted it from, I forget what it was. It was something hot, you know how that goes. That's what I like to use a lot. And
induction?
Yeah, I mean, I almost always use induction heaters just because they're so consistent, and I'm usually testing a bunch of them. But I'll also break out the torch just to remind me. But you got to remember where the meat is at, and break out the torch every now and then. So, but no, man, between the company itself, the people are awesome. The tech and the vape itself is killer, and in the way they've just really built a community as far as just really welcoming people to mod and make third-party accessories and to share ideas. And they've got the biggest beta group on the planet, I think, beta testing group. So you talk about really kings of building the community. They've really crushed it there, man.
Totally. And DynaVap is such a satisfying vape, and with the whole ritual relationship factor, it's probably one of the only vapes that I tell people, like, you got to have one of these. Like, chances are, if you commit the time to figure it out, you're probably gonna love it. Like, there are very few people that figure it out and decide that it's not for them.
I agree.
It's a thing where, like, you gotta spend a little time with it. It's not something it's not like a unicycle, or it's exactly like a unicycle. You can't ride your unicycle to work on the first day you get your unicycle.
Right.
It takes a little practice. But once you do, you look like a badass riding your unicycle.
It is the coolest looking unicycle I've ever come across. And might be the most endearing vape, like you said. Used to be that log vapes were the puppy dog vapes. I call them puppy dogs because once you got one, you just couldn't get rid of it, and you were really attached to it and all that stuff. And when it died, you'd cry over it. And really, DynaVap's the one that's kind of come along and kind of taken over that spot as far as the top puppy dog spot, I guess I'll call it, man. People get attached to their DynaVaps.
People are very attached to their DynaVaps. Like it becomes like a Pokemon thing, you know, like they have 3 or 4 or 5 or 20, you know, and they have one for different purposes. I like that about that. I love the variety.
Totally.
Even with induction and torches, I go back and forth. Like when the new induction heaters came out, I forgot how to use my torch for a while. It was like all induction heater.
Right.
And then you go back to the torch, it's like, oh yeah, like, there's a charm to it. There's a special relationship, and I still get better vapor from a torch. Like I can get the hit that I want with the DynaVap better, closer, warmer, more consistently with a single flame torch.
The torch is, yeah, man, you can't get past that. It'll always come back as oomfier to me. You know, like I use the inductions almost all the time. And like I said, for the consistency and the ease. And then I get back to a torch and it's not just different. It's got more muscle, man. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, you can rip through it quicker, that's for sure. So that's one of the beauties of it is you know it'll feed either appetite, you know, whether you want to go slow or fast. Even with induction heaters, you can overclock them easier if you want by just, you know, getting used to how long you keep it in the heat well afterwards because it is so consistent. Yeah, dude. I mean, what is there not to like about them, really? And you know, the heat sources, you can use any heat source in a pinch. You know what I mean? I love it that you brought that up in our videos and we were talking about all the different ones you could use. Titanium, stainless steel, all kinds of choices. They've been called the Legos of vaporizers. I can't think of anything not to like.
I think the magic of it for a lot of people has to do with the familiar format, you know, like heating something up or lighting something and then having a stick-like cigarette or joint format to put one into your mouth and don't ever put the other end in your mouth, you know. Well, I've done that, by the way. Have you done that? Have you accidentally burned yourself?
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
Not a good feeling.
It's right there on the lips, too.
I've only done it once, and it happened in an Instagram live stream. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks DynaVap for the sponsorship. Big fan of DynaVap. This is my Omni Hydrovong. Love that.
Is that what they call it, the Omni Hydrovong?
I think it's still called the Omnivong or Omni Hydra. I don't know. That's a good question.
Omnivong Hydra, I don't know. Yeah. Dope vape though, man. That thing's killer.
Dude. I haven't used this very much. I just got it like late last year. And I mean, I had the Omni was my favorite DynaVap, like the green anodized Omni. That's my go-to. That's my Cadillac.
That's a beauty, man.
The Simrel Vortex is the Lamborghini, and the green Omni is the Cadillac.
Yeah. Thanks to the sponsors, DynaVap,